Inside Michigan Football is presented by Meyer.
You know what to do. Hail to the victor, Ryan. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victor, Ryan. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail to Michigan, the champions of the world. Go Blue!
All right, a very happy Michigan locker room, John. Back in 1996, you were in that same locker room in a kind of a carbon copy game and a stunning Michigan upset.
Yeah, and as people hear, music has changed, but the emotions from the players, the reaction from the players, coaches, players, doesn't matter. It was a great scene, and it brought back flashbacks for me. I know it will for other guys that are watching this, but for the fans, what a great moment. Whether you're at home, you're listening on the radio, or you were down here, it was a great moment.
Well, let's talk about, we'll start with the Michigan defense. What a dominating performance against the pass, and Ohio State got nothing going on the ground.
Well, I mean, you talk about, we mentioned in the pregame, you've got to win the rushing battle. They did that. You've got to be able to apply pressure. No sacks, but Will Howard was under duress and hit repeatedly all game long. But it's about the discipline. You've got to be able, as Wink said during the week, you got to be able to not let anybody behind you and stop the run. It's really hard to do when everybody's running backwards, but they were so disciplined in the secondary, keeping everything in front of them. Big play potential, no big plays today, but defensively up front, I thought the linebackers played absolutely lights out.
Ohio State frustrated as the day went on. And let's talk about special teams. This was another area of the game Michigan had to win, and they did. Little subtleties like a Tommy Doman 68-yard punt, followed by a 31-yard punt. That exchange was worth 40 yards of field position.
40 yards of field goals and 40 yards of field position and 3 points for Michigan because Dominic Zavada, my face is freezing. Dominic Zavada ended up turning that into points for Michigan.
And Zavada made both of his field goals, including that one from 54 yards. They missed two critical field goals in a 13-10 game. Huge.
Well, it is, and you could feel it just standing down here now. The wind is swirling around. And Dominic Zavada has been good in every single situation throughout the course of this year. And here today in Columbus, it was great.
All right, let's pick up the highlights. First quarter, Ohio State's first possession. They drive inside the Michigan 10. Makari Page comes up with a big pass breakup.
Makari Page came up with some big plays all day long. The defense stood tall inside the red zone.
All right, Alex Orji now gets outside. This is his second, it's tied his career high in terms of run. The other one was Michigan State. Big games, Alex Orji makes big plays.
He does, and I think Michigan did a great job of disguising when they were putting him in the game because I don't know that Ohio State even recognized that they had made a change at quarterback.
All right after that run, we go to Jansen Vision on this 1st and 10 play.
And this is another great run by Khalil Mullins, but it's set up because you've got Tyler Morris out here, and he does a great job of coming down here and getting a great block. Max Bredesen, where Max goes, the ball goes. He comes out here. They actually get a double team out here, but I want you to watch Evan Link. He pulls around, seals the end man on the line of scrimmage, and that all total is why this play is successful. But you don't get big plays, you don't consistent run plays unless you get wide receivers like Tyler Morris blocking downfield.
Okay, so that led to Michigan having it 4th and 1, and Ohio State gets the stop. This is a huge momentum switch. And you give the Buckeyes defense credit, you feel like you can't let those opportunities pass you by. But Michigan's defense steps up big.
Oh, Michigan's defense has stepped up big at so many different times. But when a sudden change situation, momentum change, I mean, today they were lights out.
Now let's go to Jansen Vision for part of that sudden change.
Yeah, and this is that second down. And here's first down. This is the very first play where we're going to watch Jayshon Barham here. And I want you to watch big offensive tackle. Thinks he's going to come down here and pin him in. Defensive line shifts this way. Jayshon attacks the line of scrimmage and beats him on the inside. That ends up being what makes this play. And it does a great job. The linebackers did a great job attacking the line of scrimmage all day long.
All right, so 3rd down and 9. Amir Hall, second consecutive game with an interception, and this one was huge.
It was, and Jason Avant mentioned it during the game. It all comes down to film study. When you know a team, when they're 3rd down, they want to attack the sticks, you're able to jump it at the sticks. That's where he had this interception and just almost got in the end zone.
2 plays later, we go to Jansen Vision. Michigan has it 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and they changed some things up on this one because normally if they're going to run to the right, they'll pull the left guard, pull him around. Not this time. They pull Giovanni Al-Hadi out here, and they lead up with Max Bredesen. Like I said, where Max goes, the ball goes. This time, Max goes into the end zone, and Kalel Mullins, what a performance by him. We'll talk more about him, but it's great to see him get in the end zone in a moment like this.
Michigan's defense making plays. A big hit by Makari Page with the shoulder knocks Will Howard out, but Wink Martindale talked about during the week. We got to hit this guy.
We got to hit him, and we saw it a couple of weeks ago against Indiana. Brandon Hillman, legal hit, great job. Today it was Makari Page, great hit, and no targeting, not even a review for targeting.
The Michigan defense gets some run stuffs. They force an incompletion. A long field goal is no good, and Ohio State misses an opportunity. Michigan's leading at 7-3. We mentioned the Tommy Doman 68-yard punt. Ohio State's got it inside their own 10, and they can't move the chains. The Michigan defense stuffing the run, including Booz raining down on a Travion Henderson 3rd down run.
Yeah, I mean, the Michigan defense, and it really comes down to, I'm talking about the linebackers, they're able to play downhill because of the performance of that defensive front.
And it was Jaden Hood that made that stop. So that set up Dominic Zavada. We talked about the 54-yard field goal, which probably only would have been good from 55. It just snuck over. Michigan led at 10-3. But the Ohio State offense is very good. They got stuff rolling here in their final drive of the first half. And eventually they made some plays.
And they did. And it was, I mean, they didn't even use any. They had 3 timeouts to start that drive, didn't use it. Very methodical going down the field. And they're going to make plays at some point. And they end up going into halftime tied 10-10.
First half, Ohio State, 14 carries, 36 yards on the ground, and it would continue in the second half, 10-10. Michigan's defense stepped up. We'll have second half highlights and go inside the locker room later here on Inside Michigan Football.
Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2024 Michigan football season, a proud sponsor of thousands of local sports teams across the Midwest. Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by University of Michigan Health. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. Visit michigananswers.com.
All right, let's pick up the second half highlights here on Inside Michigan Football. 3rd down, we go to Jansen Vision for the Michigan defense.
And I want you to watch KG right here. It's a very similar look to the one that I highlighted last week. You've got 5 down up front. These guys are going to have to decide who they're going to. Drop, rush, and then KG right here. All they wanted was one-on-one with the center, a big swim, and beat him on the outside. But what you're trying to do is create these one-on-one matchups, and when you have a big fellow that moves like that, again, it affects the pass, and it almost leads to an interception down the field.
Michigan offensively would go 3 and out, and Ohio State would get it right back into the red zone. We go to Jansen Vision again for a big play.
And this is why Michigan has been so good in the red zone. This one is going to seem very pedestrian, but I want you to watch TJ Guy here. Big offensive tackle, edge rusher. All he's going to do is stick his arm in here. He knows he's got outside responsibility. He keeps outside leverage, and as this play starts to develop, they try to get to the edge. TJ Guy, just by being disciplined and following technique. That's why I talk about technique all the time. It's so important. That's what wins the games.
And that set up this next play. Makari Page jumps a route and gets an interception.
Oh, you love to see it. I mean, seniors making plays, Kalel Mullins on offense, Makari Page on defense. That's the recipe for Michigan.
Ohio State gets the football back, and they go down the field. But again, they miss a field goal, and we are still tied at 10. And then this drive that Michigan puts together, we start with a 3rd down and 6. Davis Warren finds Marlon Klein, who double catches it, but that's Michigan's first down since early in the first half.
And it's the start of a drive that really bled the clock for this Michigan team. That catch right there might have been one of the most important plays. It seems innocuous, but that first down, that catch was huge.
No Colston Loveland. He goes to Marlon Klein again on 3rd down, move the chains, and then this felt like one of the most important plays of the game. It's 3rd down and long, and Davis extends a play with his feet and finds Peyton O'Leary, who makes a great catch.
Yeah, and Jason mentioned this during the game. He knows better than anybody how hard it is to make this catch. Coming back to the quarterback, the ball is down and away. He's got to go down for it and get his hand underneath it. They reviewed it and they confirmed that they got to enjoy it a second time, just like we did.
Michigan goes trick play with Kendrick Bell, the high school quarterback, leads to a pass interference. Ohio State's first penalty came on that play, and that set up Michigan knocking on the door, and it felt like this was going to be a game-changing play, an interception by Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, and I know Davis was nervous and disappointed that he felt like maybe he was going to cost Michigan the game. But the resolve, the ability to come back and perform after this, I mean, it was a crushing moment, but Michigan's resilience really showed.
It's the defense again. They force another 3-and-out in a sudden change situation.
The defense stepped up all day long, and really since that second half of the Oregon game, they played like we thought they were going to play all season long.
All right, and that brings us to late in the fourth quarter. Kalel Mullings goes for 8 yards. He would then move the chains into Ohio State territory. And this run on 3rd and 6 changed everything. There's nothing there. And what does Kalel do? Bounces it outside, goes over 100 yards, and's got Michigan knocking on the door late.
He had more runs than he's ever had in a game, and he's had some big moments in Columbus. You think about the journey that he's had from linebacker to running back, throwing a pass 2 years ago down here, and now 32 carries, and none bigger than the one he had there for 27.
A virtual extra point from Dominic Zavada, well within his range, and Michigan takes a 13-10 lead, and then Ohio State does nothing with the football.
Well, I mean, how about just the clock management of timeout and you come out with 12 guys on the field? That hurt them, and then it was the helmet that came off, 10-second runoff. You know, and all of those things add up when no timeouts left. They're trying to put together a drive.
So the Wolverines come to Columbus and stun the Buckeyes and the college football world 4 in a row over Ohio State. We go inside the Michigan locker room next here on Inside Michigan Football.
Can't even put it into words. You know, through the highs and the lows of this season, you know, all the guys have stayed together and fought and keep fighting back, keep punching back. And, you know, to be able to have this moment, win this game, mess up their season, there's no better feeling in the world.
Unbelievable. I can't even put any words to this. I'm 4-0. The season we had, the fight that we showed today, I'm so proud of these dudes, bro.
Our conversation with the coach is brought to you by Meyer.
Coach, how great is it to be a Michigan Wolverine today?
It's outstanding. This is why you come to Michigan. This is the game you come to Michigan for. It's all over the building. We do everything we do for this game, and our players just played so hard, so physical, and I'm so proud of them.
There's so many guys I want to talk about, but let's start with Kalel Mullins. Up until this point, 24 carries is the most he's ever had. Today, 32, but none bigger than that 27-yard run to pick up a first down.
I mean, he's just, you know, that's what he's been, steady Eddie all year, but all of a sudden he can break, you know, and it takes more than one guy to bring him down, and 32 carries, 116 yards, and we rode him, and it was a great game by him.
I wanted to get to him quick, but what was the message to the team when you came into the locker room? Because as you can hear right now, it's a party.
Well, I didn't get to say much because I got picked up and water thrown on me, but it was just how proud I am of the fight. Proud of the fight I am and what this team is like. I mean, to be where we are from a record standpoint, and these kids came in with 100% mindset of prep to go win this game. I'm so proud of them.
Defensively, you couldn't ask for a better performance. What did you see from the defense?
I thought it was probably our best defensive game all year. Jeremiah Smith's one of the best players in the country, period. And he had a touchdown, but really the explosive pass game was very limited. I thought our guys tackled well. They played physical up front, and it's exactly what you want from your defense.
2 interceptions. Talk about Amir Hall's interception, how important it was at that time to set you guys up on the 2-yard line for your touchdown.
It was huge, and we just got down there and got stopped. It felt like we wanted to be aggressive and go for it, and kept them down there, and they ended up throwing a pick, and we ended up scoring, so it was huge for us.
But let's talk about, you guys had a lot of opportunities. They missed some field goals. Davis Warren, what was the plan on 4th down? Why go for it at that time? What are you thinking about when you decide to go for it early in the game?
Yeah, just the aggressive mindset that we're going to have. We go by our analytics and things we do, but definitely the mindset of we want to be aggressive and go try to score.
And then in the second half, that 4th quarter, what was the message to the team? We heard what it was at halftime, but you got a chance to reset it going into the 4th quarter. What did you tell the team about the opportunity they had?
Well, I brought them all up, and we just said, hey, listen to the crowd. And it was quiet. We talked about their boos being our cheers, and investing in the time and taking care of each other. And we said, this is Ann Arbor right now. This is our house. So we want to take it to them, and those guys finish it off.
I'm sure this is probably like picking between your kids, but what's sweeter, winning at home or winning down here?
Man, I don't know. They're all great. They're all great. I'll take them all. This one's fun. I love playing in front of our fans, but this one's fun as well.
Coach, thanks a lot. Thanks for everything you've done all season long.
Thank you. Go Blue!
We'll hear from our Ed Kingerski next inside the Michigan locker room on Inside Michigan Football.
It's a different game. It's a different game. I feel like when you go to the Ohio State game, it's just like, it's win or nothing. It's win or nothing. That's the mentality we got to have. And that's what we had, you know? When it counted most, everybody stepped up and did their job.
Undefeated against Ohio State, we just beat our rival. This is what we worked in the spring, winter, summer, fall camp. This is what we worked for. So, I mean, just to see how our team prevailed and came out on top is just amazing.
Time for our Alro Steel Man of the Week. Here's Ed Kingerski.
Mason Graham was an immovable force on the Michigan defensive line. The junior registered 7 tackles, 5 of them solo, and continually clogged up the middle, keeping the Buckeye offense at bay all afternoon.
That's just what Michigan's about, you know. We dig deep, you know. We do beat Ohio drills for a reason, you know. And I feel like it showed today and, you know, the past few years. So, I mean, yeah, I just think it's a Michigan tradition, Michigan type of player to, you know, come in the shoe and, you know, beat these guys like we did today.
As you know, the Wolverines came out dressed in all white from head to toe. A perfect chance to flip the narrative and play the villain, picking up one of the great victories in program history.
I mean, I feel like it was the perfect scenario. You know, everyone doubted us, you know, thought we were, you know, not even in the picture in this game. So I feel like that really fueled us, you know. The past 2 times I played these guys, I've won. So finishing out 3-0 is always good, and it's been fun.
We knew what it was coming into the game, you know, and we just executed. I mean, it was a pretty cold day out here. I mean, we practiced all week in the cold, so it really didn't affect us. You know, we came out swinging. We knew it was going to be a 15-round fight, so we won the last rounds.
Throughout the game, you know, they kind of lost courage. You know, me and a lot of other guys were not letting them do a lot of stuff, so I feel like they got frustrated. You know, had to fall back on just throwing the ball because they knew they couldn't run the ball. So I feel like that's what helped us a lot.
Wink let us do the basic stuff so we could play fast, and we let the hounds out. So, I mean, it was just a great game all around. You know, the D-line helped the DBs, and the DBs helped the D-line. So I feel like today we were a complete defense.
You and I spoke earlier this week, and there was certainly a quiet confidence to you. Why was that so?
Because it's Michigan. This game, no matter the record, no matter the circumstance of the season or who's playing and who's not on the field, this game is so much bigger than just that season alone. So anytime you put on that block in, you got to have the utmost confidence to go out and win.
32 carries, I think it was. Did you ever get tired? What did that feel like?
No, I was ready to go the whole time. You know, so it's my last regular season game, my last Ohio State game. You know, so I was ready to get dragged off the field and leave it all on the line for my brothers, especially I know Donald wanted to be out there and he wasn't able to finish the game. So, you know, there was no way I wasn't going to be out there because, you know, I had to leave it on the field for my brother.
What'd you see out there as this game wore on? And it was clear this was going to be a fight. They weren't walking away with this one like a lot of people thought.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw the longer we leaned on it, the more they broke. You know, I just felt like you just kept on chunking away little runs, big run, little run, big run, pass. You know what I'm saying? We kept them on their feet, kept them on their toes, stay dynamic. We were out there and you know, won on the ground.
What does this say about the core principles of the program?
They carry us far. Us just standing on, you know, what we believe in and our beliefs and going about stuff the way, you know, we're taught to, you know, that's what got us this win.
We hear it every year. You win the rushing battle, you win the game. And it happened for the 21st straight season. The Wolverines outgained the Buckeyes on the ground, 172 to 177. For Inside Michigan Football, I'm Ed Kingerski.
I hated the pushing and shoving at the end, John. Wolverines were celebrating in the middle of the field. Buckeyes responded. This is never good.
It's never good, but this is a rivalry. Emotions run high, and it's unfortunate, but we'll all move on.
John, we talked a lot about 1996. Was this like a time machine for you, a 13-9 win?
It was, and now I'm glad that we're going to have this games just like last year's national championship. We can talk about 97 along with 2023. Now we can talk about 2024 along with 96 and some other great moments that have happened in this stadium.
And what happened the year after you guys upset Ohio State here?
We ended up going and winning a national championship the next year.
There you go. Well, we'll talk about Michigan's bowl game later here on Inside Michigan Football. Thanks for being with us all season long. So long from Columbus.
Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2024 Michigan football season, and proud sponsor of thousands of local sports teams across the Midwest.